Again, the Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back to the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again for yet another unbox. This time around, no, it's not Power Rangers. No, it's not NECA. No, it's not Marvel. We're going to Transformers. I actually got my hands on Rodimus. This is Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron, Rodimus Prime. Now, we're going to go over that guy in just a second. I actually scored him. Now, usually between Target and Walmart, he's been about $83, $84. We had Cyber Monday. And Cyber Monday had him down for about, I think, $59, $58 at Target. There was also a limited time on Amazon. I missed out on the Amazon window. And I was trying to see if I can get my hands on him through Target, but problem was they had him available in one of my Targets, but they wouldn't ship. You'd think if they, they want to get the toys out, they want to sell them, but it wasn't available for any kind of shipping or delivery. So I was able to move things around, and I was able to buy him online for that $59 minus. Yeah, I saved a little bit more. Plus, I had an extra $5 off. So, that made the deal even better. So, I was able to get someone to pick this up at a Target that wasn't exactly close to me. And I now have my hands on him. Now, you might be wondering, Dave, how did you get an additional $5 off? Target has this thing called Target Circle. Basically, every time you purchase something from Target, if you have the app, they scan the app. Points go towards it. Well, I had enough that it equaled up to about $5 off. So that was pretty cool. So let's take a look at this. Now, the Netflix cartoon, War for Cybertron, I haven't exactly been overly thrilled about it, but they've had some awesome figures. I mean, we've had War for Cybertron Optimus. And, of course, the trailer. I always wanted a trailer. I actually scored that. Scored Prime and his trailer at Ollie's a few months ago for about $17. And I also have Studio 86 Hot Rod. We're going to do a little comparison with him. And I also scored recently Ultra Magnus. I really like these because these are probably the closest we get to looking like they did in the cartoon without going to the Masterpiece Collection. Those who are Transformers fans know what the Masterpiece Collection is all about. So, and I myself, I used to have a big Transformers collection. I sold it a couple of years ago to help fund my full-scale Proton Pack, which was not cheap. So, I've gotten into a few of these. Like, my wife asked me, she said, I thought you weren't collecting Transformers anymore. I'm like, I'm not. These are just some of my favorites, you don't have to be a full-time collector. If there's something that, reminds you of the nostalgia, that's what it's about, right? So, let's get right on into this. So, we got some very cool looking, Rodimus. The detail on here, I mean, we're going to compare this front graphic to how he looks in his robot and vehicle form, but they made him look pretty badass with all the detail molding right there. And for all we know, this is exactly how he's going to look. I mean, this looks pretty comparable to what he's going to look like. We have a picture of the art right there. I mean, that's pretty close to what we're seeing on the actual drawn art. Of course, we get a matrix of leadership. We get some exhaust. Now, they make the exhaust look gray, but I've seen people who've done reviews. The exhaust looks like it's actually black. And, of course, we got a nice little matrix graphic. I'm not too sure how crazy I feel about that matrix graphic. And, of course, we have the Space Winnebago, his battle platform, and, of course, we got his space car component right there with, looks like a storage for his rifle. Goes from that to this in 34, and then 8 different movements right there. So we got some very cool War for Cybertron, Galvatron, Megatron art going on right there. I really think if they released a digital poster, maybe you can get printed out at like a Office Depot, Walgreens, or something like that. That would be really badass. I would really love a poster like that. I would definitely hang it up. And of course on this side we have part of him blasting there. Got a little curved art right there. And I love the sword that we got here. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a Star Saber or something. And it's been a while since I've really been into Transformers. So what do you say we get right on into this? And by the way, the ID for this is War for Cybertron WFC K29 for Kingdom, obviously. So what do you say we get right on into this, guys? Okay, so let's get right on into this. Okay. There we go. Let's move my little kit right out. Okay, and that's it. No papers. Nothing. We're just going to drop that right there. So, obviously we have more of the lovely little plastic fasteners that they love to throw into here. Thank God for my hobby knife. I can cut that without even ruining the plastic. Marvelous. Just marvelous. Let's take a look at the... Got a lot of peg holes here, so we can do a hell of a lot of storage here. I'm liking that. And I like the nice little tread platform right here. We got some nice little mechanics going on here. So let's say we close this up for right now. That snaps in place. Now, I have heard of some people having some issues with a little gap right here. This doesn't look too bad. Hardly a gap. This looks pretty good so far. We got a ton of storage here. Now, I don't know if there's a particular reason for this, but the back door is kind of sticking out just a little bit. But that's not too bad, right? These are kind of spring-loaded here. That's kind of cool. The pipes. Now, they got the pipes on here. It looks like it's a very... I mean, it doesn't look bad. I'm almost tempted to get a liquid chrome pen and see if I can chrome these up proper. Kind of tempted. What do you guys think? You guys think I should? We got a ton of storage all over the place. We even have a little tray right here that comes right out. And it has pegs, so we can put exhaust or anything really there. So what do you guys think of that? I mean, this is... Roddy, you my friend, got a ton of storage. So far, this is pretty badass, if I do say so myself. Now, I've always liked Rodimus, not necessarily Hot Rod. I mean, Hot Rod's cool and all. I love him. But, I mean, let's be honest. If it wasn't for Hot Rod, Prime wouldn't have died. Let's be honest. As someone who grew up in the 80s, watching the actual cartoon, that was devastating. That was truly devastating. So, we have the little battle platform, which can do a lot of different modes. We have little panels here, kind of like blast guards. So, if a con is shooting at you, it'll just hit that shield, protecting your legs. And that's a good thing. So, we can actually put that like that, and like that, and like that. And there's a little kickstand right here. So this will sit up nice and controlled like. That's pretty cool. Obviously, we're going inside the trailer part. Let's get this open right now. So we're going to see if I can peg him in. He does have another peg right here, actually. That's probably how he's going to sit perfectly in. Yep. Okay, I might have to play around with the blaster. You might have to try and peg him in over here. More towards the back if I can. Let me pause you guys for a second. There we go. We got his artillery enclosed in there. Now, I can see a little bit more of the gap here now that I have the blaster in there, but that's perfectly fine, guys. I mean, that's the top. Who's really going to notice that, right? So now let's get into freeing the leader of the Autobots. And I'm digging this. This is definitely I like this form a lot better than original Hot Rod. But of course there is a major size difference. Let's set that off to the side. Of course we got our papers and we got our little War for Cybertron card right there. Ooh, Does this peel like all the other ones? I don't know. It might. Oh, there's the, you got Predacon right there. Looking all badass. I haven't seen him yet. And who do we have? If we peel it back, we have Dinobot. Not the Grimlock kind, the other kind. And that's another thing. I'm surprised the Grimlocks never went down in price. So we have our obligatory book on how to transform him. All the accessories and stuff. Yeah, we don't do that. So let's cut out the accessory bag. We got a lot of stuff here, so this might be a little bit of a long video, guys. So get your popcorn, get your drinks. It's Miller time. I'm going to set that off to the side. I have my drink. And no, this video is not sponsored by Gatorade. Although it could be in the future. Gatorade, hit me up. Just check out the email, davesdimension78 at gmail.com. So, now unlike previous Rodimus Primes, this is all one blaster. It does fold in half for storage and accessibility. But he's got one full-blown blaster right here. I remember Power of the Primes, those two pieces, so they would jump into two guns, just like on Hot Rod, he has two blasters. I actually have his blasters on the back of his legs when he's in robot form. That is, if I don't have him holding them. So we got a lot of different blast effects here. Let's see if we can go back to main view. So yeah, we have a lot of different effects right there, guys. It's very cool. I wish they gave us more blast effects or even like an accessory kit of blast effects. There we go. We can use this for exhaust. That's what I was thinking when I saw this. Like we could do something like Hot Rod, or should I say Rodimus has a little bit of nitrous going through his exhaust system so he can jet out like that. At least that's what I was thinking. Yeah, again, that the back door is sticking out a little bit, but hey, we could put, I mean, look at all the peg holes we have on the outside. I mean, on his frame right here, the lower part of his chassis, I mean, we got tons of stuff we can put. I mean, if we wanted, a little minefield like blast, he's getting blasted all over the place. I like that. That's something kind of cool. Little blue flame like he's on fire. like his trailer's just about to explode. That's what it kind of looks like. Some fun stuff, some craziness. You gotta have a little bit of fun. Otherwise, what the hex are you doing? Again, it's a black smoke. I would have liked gray. A gray, or even, but I guess it would kind of confuse with his pipes here. So we're gonna pull that off. Pull that off. Put those on. So there we go. I mean, we have the... It looks like really pitch black smoke. I mean, environmentally, that does not look good, guys. That does not look good environmentally. So, there we are. What else do we have here? Well, we have his sword. His sword, does it break down at all? It looks like there is a peg, so we can do that for storage. So if we wanted to put the blade into the Winnebago trailer. Now, I really like some of the detail on here. Let me see if I can get that to focus. Now, there's some scuffs and gouges on here. I don't know if that's on purpose. We could always just chalk that up to weathering. I'm inclined to think it's not on purpose. I'm inclined to think it's a defect. But, I mean, it is what it is. But all in all, we got a little peg right there so you can hold it, and we have his blade right there. And of course, we have the energy effect for the Matrix of Leadership. Now, I'm not too crazy about that. I'll say this. Here's Hot Rod's Matrix of Leadership and his energy effect. I mean, tell me, which one looks better? I like this one better. This one right here. This one looks okay. But I mean, this... I love how the energy is just like sharding out of it. Like there's no tomorrow. Now let's take a look at Rodimus in his vehicle form before the trailer. I mean, he looks like a beefy boy. I mean, this is someone you see him coming down the road. He's going to run you over. He's going to plow you like there's no tomorrow, guys. Look at the detail that they have on the spoiler compared to Hot Rod's spoiler. Okay, there you go. This is so much badass. And we got some, I mean, even the backside looks badass. The underside, I should say. And we have that different color right there. And more pegs. More pegs. I mean, if we wanted to, we could put the blade right there. Now, in one of the pictures, they did show the gun. I mean, we could have it pegged there. You know, so he's still kind of blasting off to the side. You can still do a lot of different stuff. And he's got some weight. Compared to Hot Rod, Rodimus got some weight. So let's actually throw him in with the trailer first. Let's see, does he peg? I think he snaps into spot right there. So there we go. Now we'll say this, he's not perfectly aligned. You see the front right there. I mean, that could just be weight distribution, but I'm not inclined to think so, because we have that over there too. So it could be that he's just not transformed properly, but he does have a little bit of drag right there. But let's go back to dual view. I mean, he looks pretty good right there, okay? I mean, there's not much further. Oh, there we go. He's pushed in all the way. Now, in the old cartoon, you could still see some of the spoilers sticking out, right? Like right here. We don't see that here anymore. That's one negative thing. But also, like I said, on the front here, we have a little bit of a gap. I don't know. I gotta check other people's videos to see if they've had the same problem. I mean, aside from that, I mean, the pipes line up great. We do have a little bit of a gap right here. But, I mean, you got to have a little something, right? Again, if I took the artillery out of here, this probably would close up a little bit better. And he does roll like rolling things should. I mean, he looks tremendous. He looks tremendous right there. Okay, let's do a quick comparison. Okay, so here we have a nice little comparison. Rodimus, Optimus, Hot Rod. Definitely a big size difference between Hot Rod and Rodimus. Here we got Ultra Magnus, Prime. Now let's take them all the way to the back, okay? From end to front, this is how they measure up. We got the trailer. Magnus's feet kind of give him a little bit of an advantage, but there we go. I mean, he's definitely, as far as vehicle mode, he's definitely the biggest of these guys right here. And we can see some definite color tone differences between Rodimus and Hot Rod. We have more of an outline for his flame right on top there, where this is it's not bad. But you can definitely see the progression and the evolution between these two. Studio Series Kingdom. So let's get into the transformation and compare them in robot mode. But so far, I mean, this is pretty cool, pretty good. I mean, right now the only gripes I have is a little gap, but I guess that's the universal issue that a lot of people have had. And the gap right here, as far as that goes. So, and I could definitely see a few things I wouldn't mind doing, like maybe hitting some silver on the wheels to give the hubcaps, the rims, a little bit more of a popping effect. That's just me. Okay, so here we go. We have Hot Rod, or should I say Rodimus, fully transformed, and he definitely grew up. A lot more detail. Different paint scheme opposed to Hot Rod. You know, you can see obviously color change here. A lot more detail. Definitely got some beefy legs. This is one hell of a transformation. I mean, it took a lot of it to go to get everything going, but I also love the shiny detail that we have. We don't just have the basic plastic like we did here. I mean, there's a lot more definition to Rodimus. Yes, he does have a bit of a backpack, but I mean, you know, he's the leader of the Autobots. Kind of has to. So there we go. He looks very badass. He does have some rotation, does have a bit of a neck. He's got more chin, too. Big change from Hot Rod. Now, he's pretty stable, pretty posable for a big guy. Now, if we wanted to, we could actually peg his little saber, his sword, right on the back, if it wants to behave. There we go. That is the thing we could do. Let's break out his rifle. And his rifle is what they like to call Blush compatible. And a big old blast coming out of his sniper rifle. You can do something like that. That looks a little bit more realistic. Now let's just see. I've seen some people who've done videos and the rifle wasn't so solid, or at least the arm hinge wasn't so strong to do that. But there we go. Probably put the sword in the other hand. And there is articulation on his hands. Let me see here. He's not holding it too well here. I might have to play around with that to get his. There we go. I had to play around with it a little bit. But there we go. Rodimus Prime ready for battle. Let's do a little comparison with the other trucks, or the other leaders, I should say. Okay, now let's check it out, guys. Now, of course, we got Prime's trailer opened up, and we got the Matrix just laying right there. Now we got Rodimus's trailer, Winnebago, if you will. Tons and tons of ports right there. We got some weathering, because that bad boy's been blasting all day long. So that's some very cool weathering right there. Now, let's do a little comparison. So we got Ultra Magnus with a nice little blast effect. Now, that is actually Rodimus's blast effects, but I borrowed it over for Ultra Magnus. Again, Kingdom version. We got Little Hot Rod. One day he's going to grow up to be just like Rodimus Prime. Prime time. I mean, look at the big color differences right there. And I think they really nailed it. Nice little look right there with this gun. Just look at the sculpt of the face. I mean, you don't want to mess with him. And of course, we got Optimus Prime ready to roll out. And of course, we got some extra effects. But there we go. I mean, look at the scale right there. I mean, Rodimus and Optimus are just on par. And of course, Ultra Magnus is big without a Matrix. He's just a big boy right there. There we go. So what do you think about him? He's looking pretty badass. Let's do a little rotation right there. He just knocked over Hot Rod like the punk he is. I mean, on mine, the one part of the leg doesn't... I just have to play with the transformation a little bit, but we got a ton of detail on Rodimus. I mean, that wing, that spoiler is just badass right there. So there we go. There we go. Rodimus Prime. Okay, so here we are, Rodimus taking on any Decepticon that's coming at him. Got some killer effects. Got the cannon right here. And just to show you guys, he's literally holding on to the triggers right here. He's definitely holding on to them. There's a ton of articulation. I mean, you can open up his hand. We got his finger. You can do that one scene when he's pointing at Galvatron. You know, we got that articulation. Whoa, almost lost him right there. I mean, they gave us the finger and then the rest of the hand. So we got some articulation right there. I mean, how awesome does that look right there? And of course, you could always take this out. It doesn't have to be on the platform. You could have it right on the ground. It does have a little bit of tread, or a little faux tread to make it look like it's a vehicle. We have that. Let's just pull him right off. Now, of course, what is Rodimus without the Matrix? And he does come with a Matrix. His Matrix resides right in there. And we get some very awesome detail for the inside of his body. Of course, they couldn't do what we see in the cartoon where the flame actually opens up to reveal the matrix. So, you know, they had to do a mechanical look to it. And that's pretty much the same matrix as the others that come out. It does come out just like all the others. See if I can get it to focus. If you have a little light, you can make the matrix glow. And of course, we can do the little effect that comes with this matrix. Yeah, I still like 86 Hot Rod's energy effect. That looks way, way better. And if we wanted to, we could recreate that scene. You know what I'm talking about. Arise, Rodimus Prime. This is the end of the road, Galvatron. How badass is that? As someone who grew up on the 86 movie, I mean, the movie was just so badass. And, I mean, take a look at this right here, guys. I'm so glad I got him, and I'm even more glad I got him on sale. Final thoughts, guys. If you see him in the store, if you're a big Transformers fan, you gotta cop him. The transformation is definitely it's a bit challenging. This is one of the most challenging and satisfying transformations around. I mean, he's definitely a major go. I mean, right now, at the recording of this video, okay, guys, at the time of this recording, he is still on sale. Target.com, not in store. This is the online price only, guys, okay? $59.99 from the original price of $84.99, okay? Right now, I don't know how long. This was part of a Cyber Monday deal, and it's Tuesday. I'm recording this on Tuesday. So it shows you right there all the pictures, all the awesomeness. There you go. I got them for $59.49 minus $5.13. They only had it at the Orchard Park store for me because I'm in New York State myself. Literally, delivery, same day delivery, even regular delivery are not an option. Yeah, only in-store pickups, which is weird, but they're not. They don't have that price in store, which is even weirder. So, he's definitely a major go, guys. You definitely got to get him. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 9.5. I mean, the things that grade it down, the little funny thing about the trailer, okay, and also the part that his arms are not going all the way. Not fitting all the way in his vehicle mode, that there's a little bit of a gap. And, I mean, the slight scratch on the sword, I mean, it is what it is, guys. I'm glad I got him for $60 instead of having to pay $85 plus shipping, you know. But I mean, I can't get enough of that. I mean, he looks badass. This is probably the best Rodimus we've had. And that's including Masterpiece. I've had Masterpiece Rodimus. He's not the most stable, and he's not the most secure, but this one definitely comes out of the box. I'm curious to see if Toy Hacks comes up with a aftermarket sticker kit for him. I'd be interested in seeing what they come up with. If you're not familiar with Toy Hacks, I'm going to have a link in the description below for them. They are an awesome site that, let's say you had vintage toys, Transformers, G.I. Joes, Voltrons, whatever the case may be, but your decals faded. Well, they actually produce aftermarket decals for replacements or even improving the look of new and current toys. So you definitely want to check them out. No, this video is not affiliated or endorsed by them, but they're just an awesome store. Another reason why I like them is, now this is Kingdom Magnus. He doesn't have his Autobot symbol here. That is until I buy this. They actually have regular Autobot and Decepticon labels. So if you want to add a little Decepticon love or a little Autobot positivity, you can get they have little sticker sheets that they actually include in some orders, or you can buy them separately, so you can add them to your Transformers and add them a little bit more of a you got to represent the Autobots, right? So there we are, guys. Like I said, a major go. I'm glad I got him. I was on the fence. Should I get him or should I not? I'm glad I did. So I might tool around with a little bit of silver, maybe a little bit of chrome on some parts of Hot Rod and the trailer. So we'll see what happens, guys. But until next time, guys, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting. And guess what, guys? You know what I'm going to say. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care.